Okay, we got gamers are dying out. Yes, really. Uh-oh, from your boy Belgular News. What is going on? Is no one gaming anymore?
Sometimes things feel different, but you can't quite put your finger on why. Well, today you're going to find out why, because gaming has changed. We've got new
Oh,
data that suggests
mobile gaming is king. Prominence of mobile among younger audiences probably won't be a huge surprise to anyone reading this. 93% of Gen Alpha prefer playing on mobile, according. So, depending on whether or not you think mobile gamers are gamers, is going to dictate whether or not you think gamers in general are just dying out. If you do think mobile gamers are gamers, well, then I would imagine there's more gamers than ever. But if you don't consider mobile gamers gamers, then we're dying out. We're going extinct.
93% of kids prefer playing games on phones. Not PC, not console, phones. So remember your boy Wyatt Cheng? Don't you guys have phones?
I mean, yeah, I remember that. I mean, shit. If like your average like child, are they getting like a new phone, like from their parents or whatever? Um, because what's like a new phone? Somewhere between, well, like either a new or used. I don't know. It kind of depends. Somewhere between like $200-300 all the way up to like $1,000. So like somewhere in there, and that's your one-stop shop for like everything that you need. It's a phone. It's internet. It's a gaming device. Why would you want to game on anything else when you already paid like, I don't know, 200, 300, 400 bucks for a phone already? What, you want me to pay another like 500, 600 for like a console, another couple thousand for like a PC? I don't know. Maybe when the kids get older, or like maybe if the kids get a job or something, but I doubt it. I don't think we have that information. Like how many? Well, maybe we do, and I just don't see it. Like how many? Like, well, technically, I started. Well, no, I didn't. Shit, I was gonna say I started out mobile gaming like when I first got a cell phone, but my first interactions with gaming was on like NES with like Duck Hunt and Mario, and then like Sega and 64, so on and so forth. So I can't even say I started with mobile, but I did play like some whatever games on like my old ass like Nokia, like Brick Break, that little thing where you got the platform, you just move it left and right, and you like bounce the ball to like break all the bricks, or like some Snake. What's up? What you know about that Snake?
Oh dear, turns out he was a little bit prescient. But here's another aspect to it. It's how these kids engage with games. Here's a quote. They no longer identify as gamers. They
Oh yeah, because I work with a couple of like younger guys because I'm like 35 and they're like mid-ish 20s. Like they're too busy like having to do like two jobs, man. They got like this job and then they got like another job, so they like almost have no time to like do any like extracurricular things. They're just doing one thing or another thing, just trying to keep their heads like afloat. Right? That sucks.
identify as players of a specific game. So it's not that games are a medium that they like, it's that they play Roblox or they play.
But anytime I talk to them, like some of the like the people I work with that are like younger, they always like tell me like they used to be into games, but then reality eventually hits you in the face. It's like, okay, time to be an adult, and I got to do some adulting. And yeah, it's just like their once favorite hobby has to like take a back seat, and I don't know, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad, like, I don't know, is it a bad thing? Maybe it's a good thing because now you can be a productive member of society and all that shit. My shit just pop. I don't know. I think it did. I heard something, but I don't know, man.
Fortnite. So directionally, based on the real trends that we're seeing, the future of gaming looks like it's people who are fans of one game that probably play it on a phone, which
Yeah,
is a bit weird. I don't like it, and it raises a big question.
yeah.
What does it mean for people who prefer what I'll just call traditional gaming experience.
Why are you trying to soften it, Bell? Why the hell are you trying to soften it?
Maybe people like you and me. Okay, so in our last video, we looked at gaming's past and compared it to now, and we talked about the 1983 game crash that leveled the American games industry. It set so many standards for where we are now, but there was a side effect that we didn't talk about, and it's one that's key to gaming's future. You see, when games resurged in America post-1980s game crash, they were sold as toys for children, and that decided the marketing for like the next 40 years. The medium literally grew up alongside its audience. You had Rob the Robot marketed to young boys. Then came G4, Tony Hawk, Call of...
Yeah, but I wasn't there for Rob, but I was there for everything else he's talking about. I remember playing this shit on day one, dude. This shit was goated.
Duty for the cool teenagers. I was a cool teenager, totally. No, I wasn't. Now, of course, what do we have? Well, we've got...
No, I was a dork. I was a pale, like, little kid. Like, I was a straight dork, dude.
Cinematic sad dad games, like The Last of Us. Yeah, it's grown up with us. I'd absolutely say gaming has always been for everyone. Anyone can pick up a game. A Nintendo game is an example. But the culture and the marketing, not so much.
Yes, games are for everyone, but that's like on a case-by-case basis because, like, obviously a lot of stuff from Nintendo is kind of like skewed towards like younger kids. Like, yes, you can play it as an adult, and if you like those games, there's like nothing like really wrong with it, but you do have to acknowledge like there is a target audience, right? There's a target, but sometimes people outside the target like just play it just for whatever.
Has been targeted. And I want you to think about Battlefield 6 and how it just got revealed, because they unironically played Limp Bizkit. Yeah, Limp Bizkit. So, you know, go take your medicine if you've remembered this track.
Yeah.
And it does kind of show us something. The culture and marketing around the game industry hasn't changed with technology. They haven't changed with demographics. The kids of 2025, they will not be impressed by Limp Bizkit selling a game.
Yeah, they won't. Anytime I hear like, anytime I see like a game trailer and I hear like some old ass music like Limp Bizkit, I immediately know this is like a hello fellow gamers type of moment. You know, this is like whoever is creating the thing, they're probably about my age, give or take a couple years, but there is an intended target audience that they don't want to directly say because they want their thing to appeal to everybody, right? But like obviously like kids that are like in their 20s, maybe they'll listen to, maybe they've heard of like Limp Bizkit, like maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but it's like this is like a stamp of its time, like this like genre of music,
in the way that maybe the target audience of Battlefield 6 will feel nostalgic, especially one that needs a $600 console. And why would they be? They have...
Yeah, oh yeah, he's talking about the Battlefield 6 trailer where it was like a remixed version of a it wasn't Move In, No Move Out, Hands Up, Hands Down. That was the Devil May Cry anime. It was something like break shit. But it honestly, it sounded like a really good mix. And it kind of sounded like anybody could listen to it because it just had like a lot of impact. Like props to whoever was like did like the sound engineering for that. Absolute awesome. But I don't know, man.
Thousands of experiences on their phones. Experiences that are, to them, just as entertaining. Or, should I say, to their brain chemistry and systems are just as engaging. Personally, I think there's something to be said for the depth of an experience. But basically, that's what they think games can and should be. And now we've got data, we've got stats to back it up. And, well, take your Vicodin, because this is kind of going to hurt. IGN's State of Gaming report frames this as a generational shift, and it does go along with a lot of other data that we've seen. Essentially, Gen X and millennials think of gaming in terms of platform loyalty. That's, you know, the 70s.
Millennials and Gen X tend to be loyal to platforms or genres. Yes and no. Okay, well, let me... Bro, this generation is loyal to platforms. I would probably say I used to be loyal to like Xbox and PlayStation because I was a console bro, right? The same way kids can have the capacity to be loyal to, I don't know, the Google Play Store, or if they're on iPhone, whatever the iPhone thing is, right? They're loyal to like their phone, or they're loyal to Roblox, right? All right, I'm kind of loyal to Steam. I don't really play anything that's not on Steam. I have like a couple things. I played like some Blizzard games or whatever. Played some like Riot games if something piques my fancy. But this like orange statement right here, and like loyalty to genres, right? If I don't like sports games, that doesn't mean I'm loyal to like everything else. All right, I pick and choose what I want to play when I want to play. If I just simply don't like racing games or sports games, like who made this damn thing? Lewis Packwood? I mean it's fine because like I'm just like doing like some anecdotal bullshit versus like the trends. You know, you could argue that a lot of American gamers like shooting games, right? It's like, oh, I gotta boot up the first person shooter, the third person shooter, or whatever. It's a gun game. I'm loyal to the gun games. I mean, I guess, but like I'm not always in the mood for gun games. People get tired of like a single genre and then they just want to play something else. So I don't even know how true orange statement is. It's kind of sounds like some bullshit to me. Now the younger generations tend to be more loyal to specific experiences. What, like me as like a 35-year-old dude, I can't be loyal to like specific experiences? Like, what kind of stupid statement is this? They no longer identify as gamers. Well, that's dependent on whether or not you classify mobile players as gamers. They identify as players of a specific game. Oh, I'm a Roblox player. Okay, well, newsflash, buddy. If you play a video game, no matter, even if it's just one, you're a fucking gamer. All right? You think anybody in the news cares when they do their little video games create violent individuals? You think they care what game you want to play? Like, even if it's just one, you're lumped into the big old blob of gamers like everybody else. It's like, I'm not a video gamer. I just play the one game. You're a gamer, dude. Sorry to break it to you. So yeah, I don't know how this sounds silly to me.
70s through to the 90s generations. So basically most of the people watching this video, at least per the demographics I see on YouTube, we're no strangers to tribalism in gaming. That's why we, you know, have a console war or a PC master race.
Oh, console versus PC master race. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't really care about consoles. I guess I'm part of the problem. I do think PCs are like the master race. Until something else comes along, they can equal, like, give just as good an experience as me just like sitting and like doing shit.
But distinctions between platforms are of course completely breaking down. We see that. I mean, the need for a platform is kind of disappearing. We see that in cross-platform games, but younger generations simply do not engage in the same way whatsoever. Here's some stats to make that make sense. 93% of under 13s prefer playing games on their phone. So that's the 2000s to 2010s generation. The cooked generation.
Yeah.
Only 15.
Yeah, like that one video where like the little kid was like, he had something going on like a tablet, and then another thing like on the TV, and then he had another thing on like a phone, and maybe he had like another phone, or maybe he had like a handheld, and he was just like handheld, tablet, phone, TV, and he was just going like back and forth, like super stimulated type shit. And I was just like, Jesus.
Percent prefer a core PC, which of course is very sad. And by PC, it's probably a laptop. Even 32% of millennials now prefer playing on phones.
Wait, let me. But preference for mobile is actually growing for millennials too, with 32% calling it their preferred device. Mobile. Why is that? It's probably because they're fucking dicking around at their job, which I do condone. All right, I'm not levitating over like anybody. I'm not holier than thou. Yeah, you should be dicking around on your phone.
32% of millennials now prefer playing on phones. I have to wonder if it's because, well, the torment nexus that is called the world has cooked all of our brains to the point where...
Because I guarantee you, the moment you give everybody like UBI, or you give any one of these people like a lottery win or something, they're quitting their job and they're going home and playing video games. All right, they're gonna get a PC, they're gonna get a console, and they're gonna transition. All right, fucking consoles are expensive. PCs, like even mid-range PCs, are expensive. All right, not a lot of people have. I can't say nobody, but not a lot of people have like a lot of excess money to like have like a little gamer station type of deal, right? Like big screen TV or beanbag console, like all the consoles, their favorite consoles, or fucking multi-monitor fucking $5,000 PC set up with all the nice little peripherals and stupid Joe Rogan mic or whatever. Nice camera. All right, all that shit is expensive. And last time I checked, inflation is going way up, but not at the same rate as minimum wage. Literally everybody that is like middle class / working class is getting priced out of like all of like my favorite hobbies. I'm just so lucky that I'm like fucking 50, 60K a year, bro. I can like I have a little bit of like excess money to like save up and do all this like shit. All right, but I can't say the same for everybody else. Like I can acknowledge I'm lucky.
That's really all that we can latch on to, convenience. But for those numbers in the 80s and the 90s, well, that's what those people have grown up with. Now, this graph from Matthew Ball's State of Gaming report does help to explain everything as well. Let's look at Roblox as a case study, which of course does mean content warning. Get ready for some real goddamn sheer horror. Roblox has existed since 2007. That was the first full year of the Xbox 360.
Oh my god, I remember all these, dude. Oh, I still have mine. It's not the same exact one because like I think my original one eventually, because I had it for like so long, like so many years, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Like I wanted to keep the hard drive thing, and then eventually I had to there was like a wire that you transfer all your save data onto like a bigger one, so I had to do that. But yeah, like I still have my like original one from like, oh god, God knows how long. And then I always went to my buddy's house for PlayStation, and we played tons of games all the time on PlayStation. And then they also had like a Wii, but we mostly just ended up playing some Super Smash thing or Wii Sports on this thing.
The PS3 and the Wii. But it didn't take off properly until 2016. It didn't really explode until an audience fluid in tablets began playing. And then the pandemic kind of changed everything. Mobile play massively increased, but here's the key difference. Unlike the rest of the industry post-pandemic, Roblox kept growing. Yeah, so you know the way we talk about the games crash and all that stuff? Well, maybe that happened in some places, but Roblox, it's the one place where those trends actually held. And it's outperforming everything. This one's crazy. Grow a Garden has the highest concurrent user base
Jesus.
ever of a game, with 21.3 million players. It was made by a 16-year-old in 3 days. So,
Holy shit, dude.
compare your multi-hundred staff AAA
Bro, why are you whipping out Monster Hunter Wilds? All right? Why aren't you whipping out like the best of the best? All right? Why aren't you whipping out Counter-Strike right now?
studio to a 16-year-old in 3 days. And
I know. It's depending on how you think about it, it's like, "Oh, how could this happen?" Or isn't this so great that the economy is so competitive, even a 16-year-old that made something in 3 days can now like flourish? So depending on how you think about it, it's like
feel sad. And that might sound alarming. It is alarming. Is this where gaming's going? I mean, we're already seeing Sega and Starbreeze licensing official games in Roblox. Like a Dragon, Payday, those are in Roblox. You could think the industry will coalesce into platform agnostic mega games, that kids will grow up with them as basically second homes.
Yeah.
And that those will wipe.
Roblox is metaverse. And Mark Zuckerberg, didn't he waste like almost 10 billion on that shit like to date yet? Probably more, right? Trying to get the metaverse to like take off, but meanwhile 16-year-old kids can make a game in 3 days and just have multiple millions of people just on that shit.
Out everything else. And I get the fear, and I know why the fear-mongering can work. And there are some things to be afraid of, but the thing is, that's already how the games industry works. And I'd say we're already feeling some of the downsides. So what if I told you that Call of Duty and Counter-Strike are basically just Roblox, but for boomers?
Oh god, yeah. Jesus. Kids probably don't even want to play those brands because there's like, that's the brand my dad plays. I don't want to play games like my well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are kids like that. It's like, oh, what's my dad playing? I want to be cool like my dad. Maybe there are kids like that out there, but when I was a kid, well, I kind of looked up to my dad for like some things. I don't know. Like sometimes you get kids that are just like, well, I don't want to do my parents' hobby, right? But then sometimes you get kids that's like, I want to be just like my parents.
I don't know why I'm saying Call of Duty and boomers. Let's say Counter-Strike. Yeah, CS is boomer Roblox. Now, it literally isn't in many ways, but what it is a mono game. Because for many of those people, that may as well be the only game that they play. On our other channel, yeah, I cover a lot of World of Warcraft because it unfortunately got its claws into me when I was young, and now I can't escape. And to many people, World of Warcraft is basically the only game they need, the only thing they play. Now, every month, we get a new report from Circana, right? This is their engagement report.
Damn.
And every month, what do we see? We see the same 10 games report the...
Really? PlayStation US top 15 games ranked by total weekly active users. Weekly ending, blah, blah, blah. Circana. Player engagement tracker. Well, how do we even know that, like, this is, like, verifiable to give you, like, I mean, honestly, it seems like all right. But, like, what do we got? Yeah, so we got PlayStation, Egba. Total weekly active users. COD, number 1. Fortnite, number 2. You're going to tell me Call of Duty is still... Wait. Call of Duty HQ, that's probably combining every single person that has played Call of Duty ever across any game, any multiplayer. And that's probably what this number 1 is, okay? Fortnite is massive. And you're telling me Roblox is, like, smaller than COD? Come on. NBA? Get the hell out of here. You guys are losers. Spending millions of dollars on little stupid card packs. GTA, same thing. You guys are the problem. You guys are the reason gaming is where it's at. Spending multiple thousands of dollars on those stupid little shark cards. You guys are the problems. I mean, these guys should not be able to, like, call themselves gamers. Absolutely not. Minecraft, good guy Minecraft. Marvel Rivals is up there. Wow. Rainbow Six. Cyberpunk. How is this up there? I mean, whatever. Ready or Not. WWE. Esports. College. I mean, whatever. Rocket. How was Rocket League up there?
Highest player counts, console and PC space. Now, sometimes a cool indie like Peak will punch through, especially in PC. And looking at Matthew Ball's work, he has found the same pattern since 2021, where on PC, 5 games make up 30% of total playtime.
What is this? Next 5 PC Big 5: Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League, Minecraft. How is Call of Duty up here? Share of PC engagement? Bro, Call of Duty is so fucking dirty. All right, stop it. You're not gonna convince me Call of Duty is like up there. All right, and what's this one? Okay, come on. Ordered alphabetically rather than by timeshare? Oh, okay. I mean, I could just as easily do this. Look. Steam charts. I spelled concurrent. Concurrent players right now. Counter-Strike. Dota. PUBG. Rust. Bongo Cat. What the fuck is Bongo Cat? Why the fuck? Banana. Delta Farce. Apex. Helldivers 2. GTA. The hell is Bongo Cat, guys? Top records. PUBG still holding strong at 3.2 mil. Black Myth Wukong 2.4 mil. Power World. Counter-Strike. Lost Ark. Dota. Monhan Wilds. Elden Ring. New World, whatever, and Banana. God, fuck Banana. Fucking hate people, dude. Okay, where's Call of Duty in any of this? Call of Duty? No, I don't believe Call of Duty is like in here at all.
Those games are COD, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League, and Minecraft. The top 10 games, those eat up 50% of playtime on average. What that essentially means is massive concentration. But on consoles, things are even more concentrated. It takes just the top 5 games to hit 50% of total play.
Call of Duty probably had to pay somebody off to make it so that they could just put the word Call of Duty, but what it actually means is like anybody that's played any Call of Duty game ever gets lumped into here. Warzone, multiplayer, whatever. If you're playing the first Call of Duty from like 20 years ago, yep, you're in here.
Those are COD, FIFA /EAFC, Fortnite, GTA, and NBA 2K. The top 10 reach 60% of playtime. So where does everyone else live? The answer is in the margins, 6.5%. What is that number? This will shock you. That is the total playtime for newly released games in 2023. And I believe it here. Just 4 games took...
Okay, tens of billions in development and marketing investment and thousands of games competed for that 6.5% of total player hours, and 4 titles, 1/2 of it. Wow. Share of time spent playing PC games and Xbox and PlayStation worldwide. Users 18 plus. This is 18 plus people. 37 markets total, excluding India and China. Oh, that's a big chunk. India and China. Annual updates. EA, FC. Was that FIFA Cup? Call of Duty. Okay. Always on gas titles. Fortnite. What is this, like live service? What's GAS mean? Released before 2019. 60%. Games released in 2019, 2020, 2021. Valorant, Apex. Games released 2022. Elden Ring, God of War. Games released 2023. Annually releasing titles, but including irregularly released sequels such as Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, D4, Hogwarts Legacy, D3, Starfield. Oh, wow. What a meme. Everything else, 3.4%.
Half of that 6.5%, which were Baldur's Gate, Starfield, Diablo 4 and Hogwarts Legacy. There's strong games in there, yet only 6.5%.
Yeah, there's also weak games in there too.
Why? Well, it's because only so many people are willing to play those new games. Because much like the kid who only plays Roblox, or maybe the teen who only plays Fortnite, for a lot of people, they only play COD, they only play EA, they only play CS. And Yuzu's 2025 report shows something that's also interesting. The number of people playing...
Yeah, but doesn't that mean that the before statistic was wrong, like I said? If young people are being like only being loyal to what do you call it, platforms and genres or whatever, wouldn't that mean that? But the article before said millennials and Gen Xers are loyal. So who's loyal and who's not loyal? All right. The point is that big old article was a bunch of bullshit. Players are becoming increasingly unreachable as annual engagement with 1 to 3 titles has risen since 2021. Yeah, players are becoming increasingly unreachable because you got the what do you call it? The new Switch 2 is like, was it like 100 or 150 more than like what the previous console was? Yeah. Gaming is becoming a more and more expensive hobby. Understandably, it was always kind of like that, but it's only, and it's represented by this graph that I do almost in every video. Paint. Where's the dang shapes line? There's that. There's that. This is what will happen to the price of, or maybe not the price, but like the cost of gaming. It's not linear. That's a meme. So like gaming, and this probably won't be as exaggerated. It'll probably be something like this. Gaming before was probably over here. Let's see. Do I got the brush? Yeah. Gaming in the beginning was probably something like this, like over here. And then as time goes on, gaming gets increasingly more and more expensive. And we're probably around like maybe here in terms of like what it costs to game. And it's only going to go up, right? So that's why gaming will become, it'll become harder to reach gamers, right? Because all the consoles are expensive. To have like at least like a mid-range PC, it'll be expensive. Games are trying to go up to $70, $80, $90, $100, right? More microtransactions than ever, right? All this stuff. It's all a bunch of little bullet points to point that like gaming is getting more expensive. It's no longer feasible to like be like a young kid and just, oh, my friend has a console. Like if your parents are trying to buy you like a $500, $600, $700 either console or new phone or whatever, like that's like multiple months of work that your parents have to do to like get you a new thing, right? That's hard. It's not easy.
Just 1 to 3 games per year has actually increased consistently over 4 years. That's across Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. And the times where people do play more games, those are just when AAAs have a bad year. And that is the closest correlation they've found. Of that 1 to 3 game group in Steam, the majority play Counter-Strike, 37%, or Dota, 10%. So even then, it's still very much a case of mega games. And what we see here is it's not just the kids. No, it's actually the way that multiple industries within the games industry have went.
Yeah.
Most players have their game. They might try something else, but they very often don't, and the numbers back it up. Now think about kids playing games on their phones, or teens playing games on their phones. What does that mean for the next generation? What does that mean for people who, according to this research, do play a lot of games and are responsible for, well, at least in Roblox, one of the things that's holding up game industry growth, like literally pretty much the only thing that has continued the COVID trends that all the investor types hoped for? Well,
Well, yeah.
Those people don't think of themselves as gamers. So what does that mean for the next generation of games? You may have heard of the now departed investing legend Charlie Munger. One of his good lines is, "Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome." And what these reports show,
The incentive is money. The outcome is degradation in quality of games and the shitification of games. There, I solved it.
us is that the incentives are changing because the audiences are changing. Companies that need a larger audience will need to meet people where they are. We're seeing that games like Genshin and Infinity Nikki look like Ubisoft-style mega games, but they're launching across console, PC, and phone. Where Winds Meet does the same. That is the new priority. And it's why PlayStation and Xbox both chase subscription models. Different approaches, but same goal. These audiences expect instant access to huge libraries of games, not individual purchases. And this trickles down into design decisions. Take a look at EA's releases this year. Battlefield and Skate are effectively franchise revivals. They are legacy games coming back for an aging audience who loved them, along with some limp biscuit to handle the marketing. But they're different. And honestly, in an exciting way, because they are both launching with user-generated content tools. Often I think of UG.
Yeah, a lot of, like, both of those titles should have had that for like the earlier titles.
And I think of some bizarre skibbity situation with a lot of very vibrant colors that makes me feel old and confused happening in Roblox.
Why are you talking about World of Warcraft like that, Bell? That's what modern World of Warcraft is. Why are you talking about World of Warcraft? Is World of Warcraft a skibbity situation?
Well, what does UGC mean for something like Battlefield? I'll tell you what it means. Extremely impressive shit, at least based on what we've seen from BF6 so far. So it could very much be that those dynamics work for the audiences of those games, and that if done right, those games could see growth in a similar-ish way. And there is some precedent as well. It's a little thing that we call the modding culture of PC gaming.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty big. Just that this time it's framed through Roblox's horrifically predatory ecosystem.
Yeah, like, doesn't almost every game on Roblox come with, like, some microtransaction bullshit of, like, is this like the Robux right here? This little, like, hexagon of, like, 15, 35, 50, right? And it's just like little things to customize your character in whatever game you play on Roblox. Or the white popped gum. Where's the white popped gum? Micro little transaction thing.
One that uses kids to generate infinite revenue. Yeah, moral issues very much exist. But goddamn, what a business model. Turns out just child labor, that's where it was at all the time. Child labor, parents' money, what could go wrong? Now this demographic change opens audiences up to new sorts of experiences. These kids...
But what does that mean? Parents just don't have like a wrangle on their kids and just giving out their credit card or debit card to their kids. And once the kids get the card number, it's just like, oh, Roblox plus $10, plus $20, plus $50, and that shit just racks up. Is it just an issue of like stupid parents?
Find new modes daily. They play new games daily within their Roblox. Maybe to them, they have an incredibly diverse gaming library and are playing new things absolutely all of the time in a way that you or I maybe don't, because firing up a new indie game, learning a bunch of new systems and all of that legit just takes brain effort. I mean, for a simple example, it's no wonder that systemic experience-driven games like Peak or Lethal Company take off and then get microtransaction-filled clones in...
Really? To be honest, would rather you pirate our game than play this microtransaction-riddled Roblox slop ripoff. Damn. Bro, it's like a green dude with a head and suspenders and like shirt. Dang. And this is the guy that made the game? Shit, that's good. That's crazy, dude.
Roblox to get that parrot money. But certain games simply don't matter to this changing audience. because so far in this video, we've not talked about linear single-player narrative games, which so far do seem to be limited to sad dad games. They just aren't in the equation here, even though I'd wager those are the games that most people watching this channel care about quite a bit indeed. That might be a shocking thing.
What do you mean sad dad games? And then you just put The Last of Us Part 1? That's like one game. What does that mean? You're just but you're not going to include like the single player story driven games?
But it might be the best thing for the games that you love. Okay, think of this. The highest rated network broadcast of 2024 was Tracker. It got 11.34 million views. High Potential and Matlock Revival followed, all exceeded 15 million viewers. Massive successes. But the market is so big that you may not know about them. I literally did not know about any of those things until I came upon doing this video. Now, those shows massively outperformed Emmy-winning things like Shogun, The Bear, The Traders, Hacks, and all of those
I don't even know any of these shows, dude. I just don't.
were outperformed by Squid Game and Netflix, which itself was outperformed by TikTok and social media.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean those experiences are being wiped out, and I think that's where we're getting to in games. When great games release, they aren't trying to appeal to everyone.
They shouldn't.
Are absolutely maxing what they should be as a game for their people. And if that is so good, it can expand its audience, then we see these games grow, and very often grow massively via viral network effect dynamics, like say with Lethal Company. And thinking of critical and public consensus, Expedition 33 is incredible. It is a top runner for Game of the Year. But if you look at top selling games of the year and top engagement charts, you won't.
Well, let me see. 2025 year-to-date U.S. top 20 games, physical and full game digital from Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Eggbot, PC platform for publishers. In the digital leader panel, ranked on dollar sales, so not units, but in dollars. So if there was one ultra super giga edition of Monster Hunter Wilds that cost like $30 million and one person bought it, they would take the #1 spot. Okay. So fantastic. So based on dollar sales, what made the most money? Not units. Monster Hunter Wilds made a lot of money. Elder Scrolls, a lot of money. Assassin's Creed, Shadows, really? There's no shot, dude. Get the fuck out of here. And this is what ranked last month. Reporting period 1/5 to 5/31. So from the first 5 months of this year. There's no way. How is Assassin's Creed Shadows over Call of Duty? Well, it's over. Oh, this is the one instance the Black Ops or Call of Duty wants to like separate one single product. And even then, for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, did they include Warzone in this? I don't know. You don't know. Who knows? MLB The Show. How? I don't know anybody that has played a baseball game in years. That seems like a lie.
Games of the year and top engagement charts, you won't see Expedition 33. It is in there. 1 in 20 players on Steam or Xbox played Expedition 33 at launch, according to Circana, slightly fewer in PlayStation. But what we've learned is the market may be expanding and changing, but even now, in an industry that rewards big games and entrenched audiences, those games can still be made. They can still be enjoyed, and that is what matters. And I think the biggest lesson of all of these is that execution matters and that focus matters. Expedition 33 is everything you would want with nothing that you would not want for a game like that. It is not a bloated, shambling mess, saddled by having to find meaningful work for a production crew of 300 people. And funnily enough, that might mean that it's well executed and that there is strong focus. I think that that is going to be the way forward for the sorts of games that many of us would be afraid we're going to stop seeing. Now, in this video, you've learned how the gaming market is changing. The demographics have completely shifted, even how people identify.
Yeah, the market has shifted. Ain't nobody got no money. What else is new?
within games has completely changed, and combined with the layoffs, may have you thinking there's a big old game crash around the corner.
Oh.
If you want to learn about that, watch this video next.
Also, just know that there are 3 types of lies. There are lies, damned lies, and statistics. So I'll just leave that there. Yeah. Other than that, it is kind of interesting. I didn't really know that like there are that many people on Roblox, so that's news to me. Since all the SA stuff was going on and whatever, it's just been getting blown out. So what's the vibe? It turns out that infinite growth is impossible, especially if you create an economy that is increasingly hostile to your average worker. This is the highlight right here. Somebody like just up thumb that right there. Bang. Hostile to your average worker. If you're an average worker, get fucked. A truer true has never been trued. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Good stuff, man. Keep it up. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.